Well, hello everybody. It's a rainy Sunday here. Yeah, rainy Sunday. It's been raining now for maybe about 5 days straight during dry season, of course, but I'm not complaining. We're working mostly on the inside now. Do have a little bit of work to do outside, but the most important things are inside right now. Not only is it a rainy Sunday here, but it is also a scheduled brownout with the power company that it went off at 8 o'clock this morning, and it probably won't come back on until somewhere between 5 to 8 o'clock tonight. Now, how does that affect me? It don't. You can come in here and you see I don't have no lights or anything on because it's daytime. I don't need them on, but I still have power. Yeah, I still have power. And you know why I'm gonna say it, because I have solar, but not actually today. I still have not reinstalled my solar panels yet. I've been, during this last part of this build, because of the painting and the work on top and everything else going on, have not reinstalled my solar panels. I think I put 2 up. Yeah, I got 2 of them up. But the nice thing is I have that huge battery bank with Felicity Solar, that LifePo 4 battery bank with those 4 huge batteries. And it gives us enough power that downstairs we can continue our life as normal in our little garage apartment. Refrigerator going, fans going, TV on, lights on, run the air con, whatever we want to do. And if I want to run fan up here and lights up here, if I want to run power tools, I'm all okay because I have more than enough power to carry us the whole way through. So the neighbors are probably going to scratch their heads here in just a minute, and let me show you why. Because while they think there's no power in the area, they're going to wonder what the heck when I turn on this router and I start routering down this wood right here. And I want to talk about that for a minute. This router is 110 volt from the United States. I have many of these, and so I put one in a ballot buying box and sent it over here. 120 volts, really what they call it, 110, 120, you see right there, 120 volt AC only. Now, like I say, I have many of these. I put this one in a ballot buying box and sent it over here. And how am I able to use this 110 here when this is a country of 220 volts? Because I'm using this big transformer. Now I'm telling you, this transformer is pretty good size. This transformer right here is about $80 US. It's a 1,000 watt, and see, it takes 220 volts input and steps it down to 110 volt output. And you see this one can handle up to 1,000 watts. So 1,000 watts, man, coffee pots can be over that. Those ball kettles can easily be 1,200, 1,500 watts, and that means this won't carry it, or you'll eventually burn this up. And we burned one up once before. I mean, it actually just burned out, poofed up in smoke. It was over with. So you want to watch out for that right there. So the danger part about bringing your 110 stuff, even if you want to use it on a transformer, is about making an accident. Now, many of you on my wall outlets lately, y'all said, man, those are outlets from the United States, and you're using there. Did you put 110 volts in your house? Well, let me show you something. This is a 110 volt plug from the United States. This is a router from the United States. Now, this is a transformer from the Philippines. And you see this? It is the same plug. And the grounded ones with the earth ground, same plug. And the Philippines, because they use the same voltage as a lot of other countries, will have a lot of their outlets and things you can buy will have a multi-plug on them. Fitting things from Europe, fitting things from Australia. They'll have all these with all different style plugs. But the fact is, most stuff from the Philippines uses the same plug. And you can see you can plug it right there in the flat blade. or if you have those tools with the little round prongs, or you have the ones that's flat and thick out on the sides, all your different varieties, okay? And the problem is what if you accidentally grabbed this and plugged it right in right there? If I was to accidentally plug it in right there and turn this on, I would smoke the motor there in this. It'd be over with. So people make suggestions, put a red tag on here. Put a red tag on your cord from your US things and mark it, it's 110 only. So just trying to educate there on that. Now let's go inside and let's talk about the plugs inside the house. We'll go right here. I haven't screwed this in place yet. Somebody recognized right from the video the brand of these. They seen them from a distance. Now I want to talk about that. So I brought these here from the US, and these are the common one from the United States. It's very popular brand there and all. And the nice thing about these is they are way better quality than what I can find for your wall outlets here in the Philippines. And let me show you a little bit of why. So this is the common way that light switches and wall outlets wire up in the back here in the Philippines. Many different brands, all kinds of brands, but this is a common way. And on these, you would bring in your hot lead, your line, and you would bring in your ground or your common right here into these two, right? And then this is an outlet, this is an outlet, this is an outlet. And in order for you to get power down to this one, now you got to cut a little jumper wire and jump it from here over to here. And now to get power down to this one, you got to cut another jumper wire and jump it from here over to here, and the same thing down this side. And they're all just little push-ins. You just push them in. There's no way to tighten it down, lock it down. Just a little spring loaded, push in, push in, push in, push in, push in. Another thing is we've learned in the US from using those push-ins a lot of times, that's without enough tension on it and good contact, that's a heat up point for resistance, and a lot of outlets will catch on fire. Now, the ones from the US also have a place for push in, usually for like a 14 gauge wire. You see it right there on the back. Right there on the back, you can buy a heavier amp outlet and get them where you can actually push in a 12 gauge wire. But these little holes right here do the same thing. Now the thing about this is if you did a push in on the one from the US, you would push in here with your line, your hot wire, and over here with your common, or what you might want to call ground. And it's already all connected inside. And so the power automatically goes down to the next one, okay? But that's if you chose to use those right there, a lot like they do right here. But the nice thing about the ones from the United States is they have a lockdown screw. And so you can wrap that wire around this and set that down and put compression down against that wire, making a better, stronger contact. And you don't have to make no jumper from here to here because it's already bridged together right there in between. You see that? It already came bridged together. Same thing on this side. It's already bridged together right there in between. So that is one constant piece of metal. So you get a nice solid contact. So on this plug right here, I would just tighten these two down that are unneeded. Put my line, my positive, whatever you want to call it, your hot wire underneath there. Your common, your ground underneath here, in your earth ground right here, and that's the difference too. These have an earth ground. These don't. Most don't. But there are more showing up here in the Philippines, more and more all the time now, with an earth ground. But these are far superior. Far superior. The Philippines. You see this? Look at that plug. It looks just like the plug in the US. And I could easily plug it into either one of those and easily make a mistake. So probably want to keep the confusion down, and if you can avoid bringing 110 tools here, which I brought some, Probably want to avoid it, but if you do, you need to keep a real close grip and a clear mind about what you're plugging in and plugging in where. I made the mistake myself. My Ryobi battery charger from the United States, it was in there on the counter in the kitchen. There was a whole lot of cords there. My wife had went through unplugging everything, because that's what Filipinos do. They unplug everything from the wall every time. She unplugged everything, including she unplugged the cord out of the front of the transformer as well. So there was a whole little conglomerate of cords laying on the counter, and they're all black cords, and they all got the same kind of plug on the end, and some of them are even the same kind of wire. And in a hurry to plug in my charger, I had accidentally grabbed the wrong end, plugged it in, and blew my charger. Luckily, I had a backup, but if I hadn't have, my power tools would have been, my cordless Ryobi tools would have been rendered useless here, because I would have had no way to charge them. But luckily, I had a backup charger, so thank goodness for that. But the mistake can be made easily. Nice architecture here.